Dressing room must have been absolutely buzzing after that late winner against Partick. What was it like?
Yeah, it was obviously good. It's obviously going that goal that made it one each was a bit of a gutter, and we're all kind of not heads down, but like, oh my god, here we go again. But it's a great reaction for the boys in the changing room. It was buzzing, so it was good.
We kind of turned the defence into attack. I suppose it was just one of those games where both teams were going for it. Both teams really were looking for the win, and that played into our hands a wee bit because it's really good goalkeeping, really good defending, and then we turn that into a devastating attack. And Mox on the double. It's a good bit of form from him.
Yeah, I think obviously recently we've been really good at that. Obviously, I think last year we were more like a really possession based, but this year at times it's not went like that, and we're really good on the transition, which I think other teams recognise now, that once the ball does break we're really good in transition, sharp, getting the ball forward. And obviously Mox obviously came back in after not starting at Queen's Park and came in and showed a good reaction.
I suppose for you guys as well, on the back of 2 wins in a week, that sense of momentum, that feeling of positivity must just kind of like coursing through the veins, and you must just be really looking forward to getting to that next match.
Yeah, I think every game is obviously going to come thick fast now. There's 4 games left, so every game we're looking to go in and take maximum points off. We're coming in with a lot of confidence, playing really well, good performances, so we want maximum points from every game.
We've kind of opened the door for Raith Rovers by beating Partick Thistle. Just the league being as tight as it is means that when you do that, you're helping someone else out. So we've given them another chance to try and get themselves that final playoff spot. So we've got to expect them to be going all guns blazing, I guess. Yeah,
they'll obviously try their best to get into that playoff spot, but obviously we won't take our foot off the gas. We'll go there and bring the intensity, bring the quality we've got throughout the team, and hopefully get that win.
We know Raith Rovers very well. We know some of the players very well for obvious reasons, but the 3 games we've played against them, they've all been quite tight affairs. Are you expecting more of the same?
Yeah, obviously it's a hard place to go over to Raith. I think we had a lot of success there last year. I don't think we lost a game at all against them last year, but this year's been a lot more tighter, and the gate is 2 good teams going at each other, so it will be a tight game, but hopefully we have enough to go and get the 3 points.
I suppose if we look at the last time we visited there, it's going to be a very different Airdrie side that rocks up, not just in pure terms of personnel and who starts the game, but the sense of momentum and that sense of belief that we have now, maybe compared to where we were at that point.
Yeah, I feel like obviously it'll probably be night and day. I think obviously then the results weren't going our way, and obviously not saying the boys they've never really chucked at that, but it's like right, we've 1 goal down and the heads go down. Now it's like, right, we conceded at Partick, right, here we go, we'll get the next one. So there's a positive mood going into the game, and we know we can deal with adversity throughout the game, so it should be good.
We were speaking to the manager and saying that it's like, as a supporter, it's impossible not to get excited in this stage of the season when we're putting in those kind of performances. And to be fair, it's performances we've put in for a long time now. You're really going into January, and since then it's been really good by and large. Maybe you take the Ayr United game out of that, but outside of that it's been really good. Can you kind of sense that excitement from the stands?
Yeah, I think that's what we were saying. It's really frustrating the fact like we couldn't do this earlier, because I think we'd be in a really good spot there now. But that's the way football goes. Injuries happen and new boys come in, and it takes a long time for them to gel, so things do happen. But yeah, everyone's just starting to really just gel together, and then we're looking forward to every game. I feel like the gaffer was saying, we're coming into games now, like we have something to play for, we need to go and win every game. So it's like a cup final for the past, since maybe January, February, every cup final. So it's good. You don't want to be going to games that are meaningless and being safe in the pack. You want to be playing for games to go and win, stay up.
And it seems to be bringing out the best in us, because I think there's the propensity to think, the pressure, the nervousness would start to creep in, but you guys seem to be embracing it.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. I think we enjoy it. We've enjoyed these games. I think a lot of the boys like playing under pressure. That's I think the big difference now. We like playing under the pressure, and having the fact that we need 3 points a day, and obviously outside noise, like Airdrie playing second in the league need. I think we like that. The fact of being kind of underdogs at times, and then obviously things have switched now. Like, they're going to get a result today. Nothing affects us. It's just looking forward to the next game.
In terms of an away game, it took us a long time to get our first away win, which we did on Wednesday night, so it'd be a good time to go and make that 2 from 2.
Yeah, obviously be great. Obviously not the best away record, which I think we weren't great at it last year. We were really good at home, but hopefully get the second away win of the season, and hopefully get a good spot on the table for them.
The way the bottom of the league is tightening up now, we've a lot of it is out of our control, because we can only control what we're doing, but because of our results, because of our form, we've pulled a lot of teams closer to us, and I don't know how much attention you boys can pay to that if you need to just block all that out, but there's several teams within touching distance, even with only 4 games left.
Yeah, I feel like we don't really look too much into who's above us, below us. Obviously we know it's there, but I think for us it's just looking after our own games. Obviously you can control the controllables, control what you do, and everything else should obviously take care of itself.
And I suppose players like yourself, players like the captain, all the more experienced guys in the squad, not that these are veterans by any stretch of the imagination, but that have been through seasons with Airdrie already, is it important to just keep everybody feet on the ground and not let, we'll get carried away in the stands, but as long as you guys don't, we should do the job okay? Yeah,
I feel like no one's really getting carried away. I think obviously as a team we're kind of focused on the next game, and it's not a case of like, right, we need to rush it to try and get that safety. It's like, right, one game at a time, we'll take it for there, have a good training week. So I think obviously Frizz and the older boys, Aidan Wilson, Janny, are good at kind of getting the boys together and making sure the stands are still set high, so it's good.
Training in conditions like this must be interesting. I've not seen the forecast yet to see if it's going to be the same Saturday coming as it was on Saturday there, but does it make a difference on the Astro pitches like it will be at Raith when it's that wee bit hotter?
Yeah, I feel like the stickiness is something, obviously it's not ideal for us because we like to knock the ball about nice and one touch and getting it wrapped through the lines, but I think we've dealt with it recently. Obviously I think we've been saying during training that we need to put a bit more in the pass because it will stick up. So it is tough, with the park being really sticky and obviously long balls. You have to kind of judge where the bounce is going, but we've done it quite well recently and we're getting used to it.
I suppose the only other difference from last week is that it's a more normal training week now. There's not the midweek game followed up. I suppose, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because you guys want to play games, so you would much rather be playing a game tomorrow night than standing here doing a normal training day, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like the gaffer always says, right, we've got a full training week to go and prepare, and but I love the games coming thick and fast. I'd love a Wednesday or Tuesday, Saturday every week, just playing. But I think it was good to work, doing more stuff on the training pitch, just like shape, etc., and positional wise. So in that sense, it is good to get a full training week. So we should be fully prepared.
Well, brilliant, Dean. We will see you on Saturday. Thanks very much.
Perfect, thank you.
Rhys, obviously on the back of two really good wins, we've got that sense of momentum. What are you expecting from what's going to be a tough game up at Starks Park?
Obviously Raith in a good run of form, desperate to try and kind of have a last push going into the final few games. Still playoffs firmly achievable for them, so fully expect a tough game, as they always are. I know they've been on a good run recently and likewise picked up a good couple of positive results, so fully expect it to be a tough game.
I think it's 5 clean sheets in a run at 6 unbeaten for Raith, so you're right, their run of form's been really good and timed really well at this point in the season. But I suppose when you look at the last game against them, we more than merited the win, so got to go up there with great confidence, especially given how we've played those last 2 games.
Definitely, I think like you said, the way that we've probably approached the last few games ourselves, include the Falkirk one in that, even though we didn't get the result, performance levels have been very good against good opposition. Partick are the team above Raith. They're going to be viable with Partick for the 4th spot, so really important, like we said, that we try and lean on the positive and confidence that we've got at the minute. We know going away from home as well, it'll be a difficult task. We know that we've got to make sure that we put in another strong performance. We've
kind of opened the door for Raith a wee bit by beating Thistle, but I suppose it's just the way it's kind of beauty of the nature of this league that you get a result against someone, it does someone else a favour, so I imagine there's going to be lots of that over the last 4 games.
It's unpredictable, and like you said, it's probably one that you look on Saturday and there may be a wee upset or 2 in there as well, so we've got to make sure, like you said, we've got to approach every game like it's our cup final, try and go get maximum points and see where we go.
Playing the way we've been playing, especially since the turn of the year, getting the points tally that we've racked up since we kind of turned into January and on, it's impossible not to get a wee bit carried away and enthusiastic and excited as a supporter. I guess for you, the players, your staff, the focus is all about making sure you keep the feet on the ground and don't assume that that's us achieved something, because we are still sitting 10th.
No, of course, like you said, we've done a lot of the hard work in terms of where we're at. We've managed to claw it back, to get it within kind of 3 points, and certainly we've got Dunfermline stuff to play, so it's back firmly in our hands. Supporters, why not? Use go and kind of dream and be optimistic and full of beans and stuff. It's my job and the players' job to make sure that we don't get sidetracked, don't get carried away, because we know that for all the hard work that we've put in and the results and positive performances, we've got to make sure that we maintain that for the rest of the season.
we know Raith Rovers quite well just because there's so many of the players that were there last season and we've had the 3 games against them, but it does feel that they've started to settle down more under Barry Robson than perhaps they had by the last time we played them. Have you noticed changes from his style and what he's been implementing?
No, listen, we've obviously watched a couple of games in that as well. Listen, they're quite direct. I think the system and stuff that they play with their wing backs and obviously personnel. Obviously we know the likes of Dylan Easton and obviously Finlay Pollock before obviously he got injured there at the weekend. We know that they've got quality top end of the pitch that can create something. But at the same sense, they've, you know, it's taken a wee bit of time, and like it would anyone, new manager coming in to put his kind of stamp on things, players adjusting to how he works and operates, and vice versa, him starting to understand the players and stuff. So listen, I fully expect they'll be at home as well. Big crowd, I'd imagine. Like you say, they're still trying to catch Partick Thistle, so we fully expect the best Raith Rovers team that we can get.
In terms of the squad then, how it's shaping up, a few players still making their way back? Yes,
obviously we'll be hopeful this week to find out a wee bit more about Ben. Obviously that's a wee while now, week or so that he's managed to get a bit of rest into his leg, getting a bit of treatment, doing his rehab, so I'd like to think that he's progressing each day, which will be good news. Obviously Rico Diak comes back from no playing against his parent club, and I'm just trying to think, good that obviously Strava come through 90 on Wednesday at Queen's Park, managed to follow up with more minutes, but again just got to watch him, it's his first 90 in the best part of a season or a year, so we've got to make sure that we don't burn them out, but like you've seen in the game they can still contribute, and subs again coming on and affecting the game.
And I suppose Lewis Strapp is probably the only other one, because I think Reedy and Brucey, their chances are probably fairly thin of making it back before the season finishes. How's Lewis getting on? I
know, again, realistically it's probably unlikely that Strappy will be here from now to the end of the season. Listen, it is getting better day by day, but time scale wise and stuff, listen, he's a brave boy, he'll do what he can in terms of painkillers and try to fight through the pain barrier as much as he can, so he's obviously had an ongoing shoulder issue which probably needs addressed, as well as obviously his ankle from training, so we've just got to take it day by day, but I'd imagine, like you said, prepare for the worst, that he's not going to be available for the remaining games, but if he is towards the back end, then great.
I suppose it's impossible not to react like that to a last minute winner, but it was great to see the kind of proof of what you've talked about almost ad nauseum, the fact that it is a squad game and that everybody in there is part of it and feels part of it, because you could see that when that goal went in, the celebrations, even the unused subs coming up and getting involved, everybody must have taken a big dose of belief from that goal going in.
No, listen, and I think you ask anybody, player, manager, coach, supporter, winning a game, 2 contrasting games, Saturday to Wednesday. You know, Wednesday it's more comfortable in the game, you win by a couple of goals in there, good performance. You ask a manager or a coach, they'd rather win the way that they did on Wednesday for the anxiety and stress levels, but then again from the supporters' point of view, to get that feeling that late on in the game, to score a late winner like that, the raw emotion, and you're a wee bit kind of helpless at times. I think myself included end up running down the touchline just purely an enjoyment and kind of delight that Malta scores the winner. You don't get that the same when you win comfortable in the game, but like I said, from a coach's point of view, I'd much rather have the win on Wednesday than I would how you win at the weekend.
It's easier on a commentator as well, I can tell you that. Well, on to Saturday then, and I suppose there's no reason we can't continue this run of form. You talked about how the last run of fixtures, we could win them all, they were all winnable games, and I suppose if we keep going one game at a time, there's another one to tick off on Saturday.
That's it, like you said, you just got to tick it off, and listen, there's tough games in there, even the ones at home. Like you say, everybody's still got something to play for, and at the moment Raith have picked up, you know, they've been on a good run, no conceding much, they got a good result against United, good strike for Dylan, and like you say, they've probably built that wee bit of momentum like ourselves, so I know there'll be a big crowd there, there always usually is, so every game's tough, but like you said, we said it a few weeks ago now that it was about focusing on us, take one game at a time. I know it's cliche and stuff, but it's all we can do. We start thinking in Morton and Dunfermline and these games here, United last game of the season and stuff, if we start thinking of that, then you end up just kind of taking your eye off the ball a wee bit, and in this league we've seen throughout the season that if you do that, then more likely you get punished.
Brilliant. Rhys, we'll see you Saturday. Thank you very much.